I found a list of rules about me in my new stepson's drawer. What it revealed broke my heart but changed everything. The first rule was written in a child's careful handwriting. Never talk about mom when dad's new wife is around. There were 14 more rules after that, each one a knife to my heart as I stood frozen in 8-year-old Tommy's bedroom, holding the crumpled paper I discovered while putting away his laundry. I hadn't meant to snoop 3 months into my marriage to David. I was still trying to find my place in the home he'd once shared with his late wife. Sarah. Tommy had been quiet since I moved in, parent, not hostile, just watchful, like he was studying me from behind an invisible wall. Rule 3, don't cry about mom where she can see you. Rule 7, don't keep mom's pictures out except in your room. Rule 11, don't tell her when you miss mom. My hands trembled as I read his childish handwriting. These weren't rules someone had given him, parent. These were rules Tommy had created for himself. Rules to protect his father's new relationship. Rules to make himself smaller, less inconvenient, less grief-stricken. I heard the front door open, pretend David returning with Tommy from soccer practice. I quickly placed the list back where I found it and went downstairs, my mind racing at dinner. I watched Tommy carefully cut his food into perfect squares, thanking me politely for cooking, never asking for seconds, though I could see he was still hungry. Fill in his rules being perfect so we wouldn't send him away. Everything okay? David asked, noticing my silence. Just tired. I lied, my throat tight with unshed tears. That night I couldn't sleep. Sarah had died 2 years ago from breast cancer. Tommy had been 6, old enough to understand loss, but not its permanence. David had told me they'd been to family therapy, that Tommy was adjusting well, parent, but that list told a different story. The next day I called in sick to work and drove to the cemetery where Sarah was buried. I needed to have a conversation with the woman whose absence shaped our home. I'm not trying to replace you, I whispered to her headstone, but I think your son is terrified of loving me and betraying you. That afternoon I picked Tommy up from school, parent, something I rarely did. His surprise was visible. Here is Dad, he asked immediately. At work I thought maybe we could get ice cream. At the parlor I took a deep breath and placed the list on the table between us. His eyes widened in recognition. Then fear, am I in trouble? He whispered. No, sweetheart, never. I touched his hand gently. But I need you to know something important. Your mom will always be your mom. Nothing changes that pair, not me, not time, not even her being gone. His lower lip trembled. Then he met you and got happy again. I don't want him to be sad. Your dad can be happy with me and still miss your mom, I explained. Just like you can like having me around and still wish your mom was here. His eyes filled with tears. Sometimes I forget what her voice sounded like. I am scared I'll forget her. I pulled out my phone and opened a note I'd prepared. I made a new list. Code rules for our family. Rule number 1, we talk about your mom whenever you want to. Rule number 2, all feelings are allowed in our house. Parent sad, happy, angry, everything. As I read through my alternative rules, Tommy's posture softened. When I reached the last one, pert. Rule number 10, your mom will always be part of our family story. He looked up at me. Can I put her picture in the living room again? Absolutely. And maybe you could tell me more about her sometime? I'd like to know what made her special. That night, Tommy brought his box of memories to the dinner table, parent photos, Sarah's old scarf, ticket stubs from movies they'd seen together. David's eyes glistened as Tommy showed me the birthday card she'd written him from the hospital. She would have liked you, David whispered later as we washed dishes. You have the same kind of heart. It's been 6 months since I found that list. Yesterday, I discovered a new one tucked into Tommy's homework folder. Just 3 rules this time. 1, it's okay to have 2 moms even when one is in heaven. 2, Dad is happier when we all talk about our feelings. 3, sometimes the best families are the ones we make together. Sometimes the walls children build aren't to keep us out, but to keep themselves safe. And sometimes the bravest thing we can do is show them it's safe to tear those walls down.